All right, dude, step number two. Here's what we're going to be looking at. Um, so now that you've copied it over from Tracker and you copied this data over here, over into Excel, let me show you how to make this graph. What you're going to want to do is this right here, the numbers are already put in this thing called scientific notation. This E means times 10 to the whatever. It's a little bit disconcerting for the most part, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it into just general numbers. I highlighted them, I clicked on number, and then basically that tells me what the number is. If I want a little bit more detailed number, I can go like this. Uh, or if I wanted less detail, I can just go like this. So kind of add decimals or less decimals, less details. Um, and sure, you would want to. Don't worry about the using all of these numbers. The computer will use all of the numbers, but at least it will just show you less numbers. I'm going to delete this row right here. So I just kind of click on there and right click it and press delete. Just because that heading row right there is a little bit extraneous or extra. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab this data over here. So I'm going to left click the mouse and just highlight all the way down. There we go, right there. Let me scroll back to the top to show you. Okay, so now that I've got that thing highlighted, I'm going to insert a graph. So you just go insert. I'm going to choose scatter plot right here. And the one I want to use is probably going to be this one. Usually I end up using this one, but for this particular case, I'm going to use this graph right here, or this plot. And there we go. This is your X data, and that goes along the bottom. This is your Y data, and it goes along the vertical. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the chart style. I think I want it to look like this would be. Doesn't have a title. I need a title on that thing. This, no, I don't want that one. Yeah, this one would be good. Ooh, definitely not that one. No. See, it's too cluttered. If it's, I'll just choose this one and then add the details later. So this is what like the first default one. All right, let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on the chart and it's going to ask me to move the chart. I'm going to be able to work with it in its own chart. So I'm going to say put it as a new sheet. And that way it becomes bigger and I can see things better. Let's see. Here's what I want you to do. I deleted the legend because I'm not graphing two separate things. But this is what I want you to do. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to relabel the axis over here to be, this will be the horizontal position. And I'm going to click here, call this the vertical position. This will be Mr. Dalday's swing. Let's make sure that you know that this vertical position is in centimeters. And this horizontal position is in centimeters as well. The next part is not really completely needed, but I like doing this. I'm going to go to the vertical axis, which is right here, and I'm going to add minor grid lines. That just helps me see things a little bit better. I'm going to right click on this axis over here and add major, well, I'm going to add major grid lines and minor grid lines. The reason why I didn't need to add minor grid or major grid lines for the vertical axis because there was already major grid lines. But that just kind of makes it look like graph paper, so it's much easier for me to read the data points and all of that kind of stuff. Now, if you look at this, here's what I want you to do. In your project, I'm going to want you to analyze this. And we're going to look at different things.
But I guess this is where I started, and then my swing kind of went back like this, and then it turned around. I have no idea what the terminology for it is. I'm sure that you would know. And I swung around this way, and then there's like a jump right here, and it's because I couldn't see the club
enough. So
I just skipped that tracking data. Um, so that's why there's a straighter line over there. And then my golf club comes around over here, and then I don't know what this tail end is over here. I guess I couldn't hold it steady or whatnot. But then again, I have no idea how much that affects it.
I also noticed that like
Hmm, what if I were to make this about the same scale? So this goes up to 250. Let me just format axis and make this a square. So let's make this
from
negative.
-125 to +125. Hmm. So this should actually be more of a
Square because it goes up to 250 and it goes across by 125. What I'm trying to figure out is what is the shape of this thing?
Is it like
Is this an oval or is it a circle? I think that the best way to do that would be to maybe measure how wide it is and then measure how tall it is. And by measure, I mean, look, this point right here is
27 comma 214? So the height is actually 214, and then at the lowest point over here is at
5. So the height is about 200 or 214 minus 5, which is about 209.
over here. The furthest point over here is at 110 because you read the x position, and then
The furthest point over here is about negative 134. So the
distance from here to here is about 244. So that's 209 versus 224. Yeah, that's pretty circular, even though it doesn't look like a circle on the graph. And that's because of the way we're displaying the axis.
I would say that that's a pretty good circle.
I'm
I'm
not
not
sure.
sure if your golf club should be swung in a circle. I have no idea. So I guess the next part of the video that I'd like to record for you is
Showing you
what
what.
else I want you to do. But basically, what I wanted you to do with this is I wanted you to be able to graph the data.